Australia is many things to many people. But whatever your story, we've all been touched in some way by our unique landscapes. Whether you're in the middle of the wilderness,
Oh my gosh.
or in the heart of the city. In this series, I'll be walking across this country,
Breathe it in.
revealing new stories every step of the way,
I come here to get homesick.
meeting locals and experts,
This is bloody gold.
first Australians
She was taken from her country.
and new Australians.
Smile. Beautiful.
Yasu.
Yasu! I'll discover new things about places we think we know.
So this is where you got sent if you were a naughty boy.
Oh my God. There are some things we can only discover when we ditch the car and take it slowly. This time, I'll be walking in northern New South Wales.
Look at that.
I'm taking my first ever steps under the canopy of a rainforest.
I've been kind of almost close to tears at many times during the day.
So join me. My step counter is going into overdrive, but you can just sit back and enjoy the views.
Just stunning.
Or maybe you'll decide to follow in my footsteps. I'm Julia Zamiro, and this is Great Australian Walks. Today, I'm on Gumbaynggirr country. And I thought I'd start with a little stroll through a quaint little place called Bellingen. How gorgeous is this? Then I'll be moving up to the Dorrigo National Park, an amazing place that represents the most distinctive strip of diverse subtropical rainforest anywhere on Earth. Incredible. I'm in the hinterland west of Coffs Harbour, on the New South Wales north coast. I'm starting my journey up the ranges in the magical town of Bellingen. I thought I'd take a stroll here before driving up Waterfall Way to the historic and beautiful Dangar Falls. From there, I'll make my way to Dorrigo National Park, where I'll do a 3-kilometre section of the Wonga Walk Trail before ending up at the spectacular Crystal Shower Falls. Bellingen, or Bello to the locals. You know, this place is fast becoming a go-to destination for those who've been a little Byron Bayed out. That is, if you can live without the surf and the sand. I actually came here, I don't know, in the late 90s, I think. I'd been doing Shakespeare in high schools, this fantastic job that yielded me so many beautiful opportunities. And this extraordinary young woman came up to me and said, back in my town in Bellingen, I'm putting on a production of The Lord of the Rings, like a theatre production with kids and adults, people from the town, everyone's involved. Would you mind coming for a couple of days and just, you know, casting an eye on it? It was a gorgeous 2 days, but we were basically inside the whole time. So I'm so excited to be back to explore outside. It'll be so good. When you look at a map of this area, you'll see names like Never Never and the Promised Land, which suggests maybe a magic faraway place or indeed a religious cult. Actually changed a lot since I was last here. What, 25 years ago? Of course it's changed. It's kind of irritating sometimes when people go, oh, Bellingen, you know, hippies. You're like, well, yes, there's a DNA of that. But there's a strong movement here too of conservation, wanting to live a different life. You know, it's not all hippie shops, etc. Sourdough bakery. Oh, this is my kind of place. I love it. Look at that. You've got Save the Kalang Headwaters, environment. The Gregorian brothers are coming, Ash Grunwald. I mean, this is the sort of place you want to be. Regional. Great arts happening. Music's back. And the environment. A laundrette. That's where you meet people. I love doing my washing when I go overseas in a laundrette. The chats. Look at this delight. Lovely little gelato shop. Hello. See, people just wave to you here. It's so great. The conservation vibes in this town are so strong. And I'm going to meet someone who's going to tell me a little bit more about the hippie past and about the new greenies who are now going to fight a new fight against logging. There's a swing. Yes. It holds me. And we're not far out of town, but a couple of minutes. Look how quiet and beautiful it is. How divine. Gorgeous. Thank you, tree. Hi, Louise.
Hi, Julia.
Thanks for meeting with me. A real-life local.
Yeah.
Great. With a little bit of a political past. I love it. Activist past and present. Louise, this is a beautiful place. And I've only just arrived here, but you came here a long time ago. What brought you to Bellingen in the first place?
I'd been reading Lord of the Rings, and I looked out the window of the car and I thought, this is the Shire. This is where I want to live.
You're joking. Lord of the Rings brought me to Bellingen initially too. So when you moved here, what was it really like? Like, what was the feeling of this town?
Well, the little town itself was really dead. You know, you could drive around a dog in the main street. It was so quiet. And half of the shops in town were boarded up. The town was dying.
What originally had it been?
Well, it had been a timber town. The red cedar was worth $60,000 a tree, apparently. And after that, it was dairy. After the wars, a lot of the young people didn't come back, which made it hard to run the dairy farms. And then there was legislation around stainless steel vats, which were very expensive, so a lot of the small dairy farms closed down.
So there's these little farms here and there that are empty, and what, you could just move in and just live anywhere?
You could rent a little cheap house in the forest, $10 a week, and people kind of stayed a bit clear of town because there was a lot of antagonism from the locals.
What didn't they like about you?
Oh, we were a bunch of young, educated radicals, and we had a completely different mindset than they had. You know, we thought the forests were sacred and needed to be saved, that the rivers were special and we had to really respect them. And they were used to colonial thinking where, you know, these are resources that you just use and take.
So were there any clashes?
Yeah, there were some massive clashes. The local business people got together and complained that we were taking away their business. The shoe shop owner didn't like the fact that we walked around with bare feet. And the old farmers were checking out the hippie chicks with their long skirts and their long hair and their flowers in their hair and their beads and thought they were absolutely gorgeous. And the fact that they wore no bras and see-through blouses made it even more interesting.
I can imagine.
But they hated the hippie men, hated them with a vengeance because they had the long hair and the beards, earrings and beads and clothes from India and sandals, and these aren't proper men, you know. They can't do a day's work with that kind of clobber on. What kind of pansies are these?
But you've gotten involved more recently, haven't you? There seems to be a new fight, a fresh fight against logging.
In the ridges not far from here, where the catchment for the Bellingen, Nambucca and Kalang rivers are, the Forestry Corporation is planning on going in an industrial logging to real biodiversity hotspots, the same as Dorrigo National Park, basically, and full of endangered species. They're planning on logging these areas which would potentially seriously damage the water supply of the Bellingen, Kalang and Nambucca rivers. Without our fresh water, without our clean soils, and without our oxygen and our cool climate that the forests provide, we could become extinct very easily. When you live in the forest, you start to realise how dependent you are on your neighbours, how the rainfall patterns affect you, how all the creatures affect you. Everything is very interdependent, and it's a wonderful feeling.
Louise, it's been so amazing talking to you. I've got to keep going on my trek. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Julia. I really enjoyed it.
Why would you not want to protect all of this? Grief. This beautiful Bellingen River, which, in case you didn't know, is the iconic star of Page and Screen. Yes. Oscar and Lucinda, listen to this. A beautiful description. This is in the past. The Bellingen was not like it is now, with wide electric green fields pushing down onto the river. The banks were like green cliffs of camouflage, pierced with giant knitting needles and spun and tangled all about with ferns and creepers. Isn't that beautiful? And also it was made into a film. Gillian Armstrong directed it, and she's spoken about when they did that iconic scene where they're floating the glass church down the Bellingen River. Well, it rained and there were storms and floods, and the crew kept having to squeegee the windows in the church to shoot it. Oh, the excitement and glamour of showbiz, hey? Well, I'm going to see my own ferns and creepers up the mountain now and check out what this place used to look like before logging. So we are just leaving Bellingen and on our way to Dangar Falls and the Dorrigo National Park. But yes, what, I hear you say, are you doing in the car, Julia? I know, this is not usual. However, this is the only way to get there. It's like the connective tissue. Waterfall Way, they call it. I wonder why. Stand by. Oh, there's a logging truck. Nice. driven up Waterfall Way from Bellingen to the gorgeous town of Dorrigo, which is home to my next stop, Dangar Falls. There, I'll ditch the car and explore the stunning falls on foot.
Here we go. And this is where I leave the car. Gosh, I hope it's still here when I get back. Oh, maybe petrol prices will have gone down by then. Fingers crossed. Can you hear it? That's what I like to hear, a full waterfall. Very nice viewing platform, thank you. Oh, sonorous, building up. Oh, yes, thank you. Look at that. That is a waterfall. I mean, how beautiful is it? You know, I'm interested in why people decide to settle where they do. You know, when we came to Australia, we settled where there were schools so my mum could teach and there were restaurants where my dad could work. Europeans came here partly for dairy farming, but there's another group that settled here. And I'm going to meet with someone who is going to tell me about her family and the journey that they took to get here. She even wrote a book about it. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Rashmir Bhatti is an author who wrote the 2001 book, A Punjabi Community in Australia, about the Indian community that settled in her hometown, Woolgoolga.
Rashmir. Oh, hi. Hi, Julia. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for meeting me here.
Yeah.
At this incredible spot.
I know, it's just absolutely stunning. Look at it.
So, were you born here?
I was actually born, I was born in the area in a city called Grafton, north of Coffs Harbour.
And where's your family from originally?
From the Punjab in India, my dad, and my mum is from Rajasthan.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, if you were born here, what attracted your family here to settle here?
That's a really long story that covers...
Good, that's why we're here.
It covers 100 years. So Australia was a country that hadn't been heard of a lot, but it was attracted because of in particular, the work available on the sugarcane farms. Because my family are agriculturists, and as are most Punjabis from that area. And so they do wheat and maize and sugarcane. So, I mean, but it wasn't easy just to come to Australia because, you know, it had to be via ship. So my grandfather somehow came. They just had to get work wherever they could, right? Yeah. So they tended to move between the Woolgoolga background community to the Atherton tablelands in northern Queensland because that was a sugarcane growing area, and the Clarence Valley. But an interesting thing about the Clarence Valley is that it's just like Punjab. So maybe they were attracted by that too, because the rivers run just like that in Punjab. So my grandfather actually stayed with an Australian family and worked on the dairy farm too, and sugarcane. And he actually was living in the Grafton area for 40-odd years. The growth of the Punjabi Sikh community in Woolgoolga reflects Australia's move from white Australia to multiculturalism directly. Because of how the policies changed, that's how the community grew. The overwhelming questions in the community were why the Indians lived in Woolgoolga.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I don't even know. So I started researching that. I came across a book. It detailed a lot about how the Australian migration policy was shaped by the global events around World War I, World War II. So it was that in preparation for the Second World War, there was a lot of concern about Japan attacking Australia, as you know, and to keep the Sikh armies on side, there were rights above and beyond granted to Indians in Australia, above any other Asian minority. They had the right to the pension.
Incredible.
They had the right to the vote. But thirdly, they had the right to independence. Hence, you know, my grandfather bought my grandma and the three boys.
Yeah, and the three boys came here. Yeah.
The three boys came to Grafton. There's a wonderful picture in my archives of the three of them on the banks of the Clarence River.
What's the Sikh community look like now?
The Sikh community now is much more cultural than when I was growing up and in the era.
What do you mean by that?
There was only 6 families in Woolgoolga back when I was growing up. But now I think there's a couple of thousand people there of Punjabi background. About, 15 years ago, they started having the whole Bollywood-style wedding ceremonies with the 4-day ceremonies, whereas I was growing up, that wasn't the case. Yeah. So,
well, I'm doing a very long walk the whole way around, yes, and I'm about to go down there as well. And thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
A pleasure. I'm off to the waterfall.
Okay, enjoy it.
I will.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I love stories about people settling here and how they get through, how they work together as a community. And multiculturalism is such a big part of Australia's history. And I loved hearing from Rashmir about that community. So much work. And she got her answer. She got her answer. It's amazing how much cooler it is. I reckon it's dropped about 5 degrees. Look at this. And I've only just dipped my toe in the world of the rainforest. Can't wait to see what comes ahead of us. Look at this. Incredible.
I'm a few kilometres on from Dangar Falls, arriving at the World Heritage listed Dorrigo National Park. And I'm heading to the Rainforest Centre, the start of the Wonga Walk.
I've left the cars and the traffic behind, and for the rest of the day, I'm under the canopy. Stunning is this walkway. So I've been hearing a lot about logging today, how they've had to clear land for dairy farms. We saw that English kind of bare green landscape as we came in. I mean, it's incredible. This magnificent walkway that comes out right above the trees. And Bellingen is just behind that mountain, so you can see why I couldn't walk up. Look how high up we are. It's a little cloud. It's like vegetation upon vegetation, upon vegetation upon vegetation. It's just... And you can see the ocean. I can't wait to find out more. Okay. So beautiful out there. Now I want to go underneath, under the canopy. And I think, yes, this is it, Wonga Walk. This is where I'll be going, and I'm taking a friend. Well, an electronic friend. This little lady. Here we go. Honestly, it is like a magical wonderland. It's as simple as that, and it's a natural one. I want to say it's like walking onto a film set, but that undervalues what this actually is because this is real. Ah. Look at it. If this first kilometre of the walk has taught me anything, is that I am illiterate in this world. I need some guidance. And there is my first guide. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Julia.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you
Nice
here.
to meet you too.
So before we do continue though, as part of my cultural protocol, just to welcome you to our area and our country here. So G'nagay first of all, which is hello in Gumbaynggirr. So G'nagay Julia. Nanyuni Bajar Matt Flanders. No yam Gumbaynggirr Jambara. Yam dan Darga Ngalungurr. Yam Gumbaynggirr Wajja. Gambalaman Jagunda. Dare Nagagu Ninda Yilama Yam Danga Dandarga Gumbaynggirr Wajja Go. Niala Nimbangay Gumbaynggirr Gilagang Bigay Niagita Niala Yanji Believing Gumbaynggirr Wajjara. Niala Gungumbu Gumbaynggirr Wajja.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Honestly, I have to say, it just makes me tear up every time because you don't hear those languages, and if we'd done this properly as colonials, we would be speaking this language together now, wouldn't we? Like,
we would be.
I would have known some of that, I would have learned it at school, and you and I could be speaking in a completely different way. Thank you, I feel very welcomed. Thank you so much. Should we go for a walk?
Let's go for a little walk.
You lead the way, young sir. I'll have no idea. It's so serene down here. It's so calm. Incredible. What's this beautiful ancient thing?
This one here is called a yellow Caribbean. Now, we call this one Jarganga.
Can I say it?
Jarganga.
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 Yeah, Jarganga. Yellow Caribbean. And we had quite a few uses for this tree, us Gumbaynggirr people, and other people as well that lived in rainforests. So I'll just show you one of them.
Please.
Come on up. So these beautiful big buttress roots here, other than being magnificent, of course, and supporting our tree from falling over, we had uses for them. As you can see, they are quite flat and they're very thin. So we would come along and we'd cut sections out of these buttress roots here. We'd make giant shields out of them for our battles, because we did have battles in our Aboriginal culture. And then, because it's so flat, we did have to make a handle. If it was thick enough, we could build a handle into it, or we'd glue one onto it. When we're in the rainforest and we've got mob far away on the edge of the rainforest, we had to let them know where we were. We can't just call out, they might not hear us. And often we'd have our bundis or nulla-nullas or big clubs. We'd come to these buttress roots here and we'd give them a big hit a few times, and we'd send a low, deep, resonating signal through that rainforest.
So it's like a drum almost. It's sending a sound across.
Yeah,
because
a bit
it's
like
a
a
low
drum.
frequency. Yeah.
So, it's a bit hard to hit, but I will do it for you. So we come up to here.
I mean, you could even hear that. There's some vibration in it. So if you did it with a club,
If I did it with a club and gave it a real good hit,
you'd really hear it
Really hear
across.
it.
How amazing. And what's this?
so this here is our Gondwana circle. Up until about 40 million years ago, Antarctica and Australia were still connected as one. And when we did break away eventually, we took with it, or with us, Australia, all this beautiful biodiverse group of unique plants and animals with us.
Would there be trees that are from there that are with us still?
There are trees, yeah, so not there anymore because they all got frozen, covered in ice and died off. But some of the trees that we do have up here are called Antarctic beech, and we do utilise those trees in Gumbaynggirr culture. So I've actually got with me a set of clapsticks I've made from that specific tree,
Gorgeous.
the Antarctic beech.
Oh my
Just one of the
gosh.
timbers that we use, not just for clapsticks, but still for shields and culminates as well.
Can I hear them?
Make a beautiful sound.
And then here too, like it's like a natural kind of dome to keep the sound in. It reverberates. So I'm at a crossroads here. Matt,
Now,
which way do I go?
Julia, I recommend, Yindiri Yanji Jibin Jumbala. Go for a walk with our birds. And I say yada yarang. And thank you for coming here. So goodbye
Thank
for
you.
now. And I'll see you when you come back.
And
Yeah?
let me learn a bit of language. Yadiriyang.
Yari yarang.
Yari yarang.
Yari yarang.
Yari yarang to you. Thank you, Matt.
Yari yarang, Julia.
Wish me luck. To hear his language, to have someone look you in the eye and speak their language like that, a language that was beaten out of his ancestors, it's very moving, I speak French, having not grown up there, because there was a school here. Indigenous languages should have been here from the start. It's heartbreaking. And these trees, these incredible trees that we've seen, well, I've seen going up the hill here, being logged on trucks going back into town, it means we don't have more of this. And when a tree is found in the forest, when it's been felled naturally, it becomes a home for animals all over again, land animals. I just feel like the world's upside down. Priorities are all over the shop. So when you have an expert like that, and I've got another one coming up, can't wait, but for the moment, just a little bit of quiet walking for me, because it's so beautiful. I'm in Dorrigo National Park, about halfway down the Wonga Walk. I'm stopping here at a place called The Glade, where I'm meeting a guide to help me interpret the rainforest.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for showing me this incredible view. What a great place to meet. Where are we?
This is the Glade picnic area.
Oh.
That's all that country behind us. And
Yeah.
this is the view. Not quite as good as the Skywalk, but pretty good.
Oh my gosh, I have to say, I am embarrassed and annoyed with myself that I have not been to more rainforest, and I make that confession to you now, and I really ask myself, why don't you visit more? Why haven't you made that part of your education or even, you know, holiday?
Yeah, it's strange because, like, I work in the rainforest, so I see it, like, every day I come up here. I get pretty used to it. But, yeah, like, why haven't you? What have you been doing?
I think I've been working too much, actually. Yeah, and if I go on a holiday, it's an urban holiday. And if I go on, I've been to Uluru, you know, I've walked around the rock, I've been in that environment. But in terms of rainforest,
Well,
seeing that made me so sad that I hadn't done it before.
that's right. I mean, Uluru used to be rainforest, like, way back. It hasn't always been, you know, like, the landscape hasn't always been like it is today. Things have changed over the years, over the millions of years, and even over the past tens of thousands of years. Like this view out here, for instance, Julia, if we were here in the height of the last glacial maximum, and the sea levels were about 130 metres lower than they are today, so maybe 20,000 years ago, we're standing up at the Glade looking out over here. There's no ocean out there. That's the Tasman Sea. It's just a little thin little blue line on the horizon, right? Wow. We're looking out over a coastal forested plain that stretches all the way out to the horizon, another maybe 15, 20 kilometres out. And then you've got the slow rising smoke from Aboriginal campfires. So the places that Matt's ancestors were having, you know, their camps 18,000, 20,000 years ago, now we've got humpback whales migrating over the top of them.
Well, I feel like I've got a human dictionary here. Should we go into the forest?
Well, it's a bit warm, so if we go in the forest, it's a lot cooler.
That's what I love about
Get you
it.
out of the sun.
Look at me.
Okay, let's go.
Sun, I hate it. A lot of leaves.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's just the way the forest operates. It's been dry in the last week or two, so the forest has been dropping a lot of leaves to conserve water.
I'd be happily here with a broom. I'm happy to get rid of them for you.
We can arrange that.
Yeah. Now, what is this tree?
This is a red cedar, the famous red cedar.
Tell me.
Well, so there's not very many of these on the track, but they were very, very abundant in our rainforests 200 years ago. But the first wave of Europeans to come up the coast in this country were the cedar getters. And they fell in love with, they went cedar crazy. It's got some qualities about this tree that were kind of its demise, in a way, sealed its fate, in a sense. One is that the timber inside is this beautiful red mahogany colour. Very easy to work with, you know, woodwork and turn into tables and chairs and all sorts of things. Secondly, it floats, even when it's green. So the cedar getters in the 1830s and 40s and such, down in Bellingen, they'd fell the cedars next to the creeks, and then when the rivers rose in floods, all those cedars would float down in the floods.
So the ease of floating it, the ease of what it is, actually was its demise as well, because there's, what, not many left?
So there's very few left, and it's very few large ones left particularly, and yet, you know, this is not a large one. This is a teenager compared to some of the really big ones that would get, you know, 3 or 4 times this big. The other thing about them was the leaves are red. So from a high point looking down over the valley, you could spot where all the cedar are, right? Yeah. So it's a bit like the whales spouting, right? Yeah. And we kind of did the same thing with the whales as we did the cedars. We took as many as we could until it wasn't economically viable to take the last remaining few, and we did the same with the cedars. So we've still got some left, but they're no longer, you know, the forest giants and forest sort of dominance that they once were for millions of years.
I'll never forget that story now.
But everywhere around the world, there's still tables and chairs and you know, architraves, all still built out of red cedar from the 1800s, out of places like the Bellingen River.
Too, I think people are scared to come to walks like this because they're afraid of snakes and, I mean, what are the real dangers?
Driving here.
Driving here is more of a danger, sure.
Yeah. Smoking.
Smoking, yeah, sure.
No smoking allowed in the park, actually.
No, absolutely.
Oh, look,
Plants? Are plants dangerous?
There are very few plants and animals that pose any threat to visitors.
But what about snakes and spiders? We always go on about, oh, Australia, the most dangerous country in the world, and...
I've been working in this forest for 20 years. I've never had any incident with a snake where I felt threatened. Snakes won't give you any trouble. We've got red-bellied black snakes, we've got coastal carpet pythons up to 3 metres. I mean, you might see a snake if you come across a little sunny patch on the track and they're out getting a bit of solar recharge. There's not much sun around, right? So where the sun is, that's where you might see a snake or a skink. You just slow down in those patches and have a look, but give them a couple of metres, let them do their thing and just sort of walk around and keep going. I mean, that's a highlight of my walk. We don't have anyone have any trouble with snakes in the park.
Great. All right, let's keep walking.
I want to take us off the track a little bit.
Yes.
Not far. We're just going to go in here a bit and have a little bit of time listening for birds.
After you.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this.
Just in here, it's a bit quieter. We just listen out for some birds while we're here. So I just wanted to just listen. Just the simple action of listening to birds is good for you. So all the birds we're hearing, they're all songbirds. There's about 5,000 species of songbirds on the planet. And here's the thing, they all evolve from ancestral songbirds from Australia. So we took with us from Antarctica, 50 million years ago or so, we took with us the early ancestors of songbirds. And then they evolved in our rainforests as we drifted north up towards the tropics. And nowhere else on the planet had song. And then later on, they escaped out the top of Australia, out through Asia, and then from there to the rest of the world.
All from here?
And so they come from here. We gave song to the whole rest of the planet. So these birds, this soundscape around us, is like the oldest songbird sort of community in the world. So we used to think that the birds of Europe and America were the old birds. We now know that they've just got our second-hand bird. We've got the original stock. The songscape of Dorrigo National Park.
So beautiful. I can hear water. Is there a waterfall here?
There's a waterfall, a really awesome waterfall. Yeah.
Did you prepare this earlier?
I was keeping it on the quiet, on the low down.
I thought I'd seen all the waterfalls.
No, you haven't seen Crystal Shower Falls yet.
Crystal Shower Falls, that's good. Oh, it's like waking up, getting up in the morning. It's all this light sort of back here now.
I know, we're suddenly gone back 2 hours in the afternoon.
I know. Oh, my goodness. Oh, look at that.
You happy with that?
I'm very happy with that. Look at this. Oh, my goodness.
And how do you feel?
How do I feel?
Yeah, you've been in the forest for a while, you get down to Crystal Shower Falls.
I've been kind of almost close to tears and many times during the day. The first seeing the top of the trees,
Yeah.
there's real quiet up there with the birds, listening to Matt talking language, so I feel really calm and peaceful. It's been very quiet. Hearing those birds, you feel very, you want to come back and you feel really calm and you feel really insignificant in a good way.
Yeah.
And you want to tell everybody about it.
I've been coming down here for at least 20 years and I still get the same feeling, you know. So that's good. That just means the rainforest has been doing its work on you and that's a good place to just leave you to be. I'm going to head back up the track.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you.
Stay well.
I
Bye.
will. See you. Can you feel how precious it is? That's what I felt all day today. I'm going to get upset about it. It's so precarious, all of it. You slow right down. It's so beautiful. Just come visit. Look after it.